Power to the truth. This is Peter S. Lopez, La Capita de Aztlán. I want to entitle this video, Earth First. Earth is E-A-R-T-H F-I-R-S-T, first. I had a brain aneurysm a couple of years ago. I got to be honest here, and I kind of had to learn how to speak again, to enunciate more clearly, and it affected my left side, so I can't play guitar like I used to, and I cope with it, and I'm healing, I'm doing better. And to me, expressing myself is a form of therapy for me in the process of my healing. I found out today that I have a Christian sister named Annabelle, or Jerry, G-E-R-I. She'll be moving out to Fresno. So I'll go visit her pretty soon, and get out of Sacramento for a bit. Anyway, Trump, the tyrant Trump. I do not want to hate anybody, any one individual, though I hate evil. With his whole approach of America first, and the way that he's moving now, with all these executive orders, he's tightening up the whole system, where he's going to create more and more of a corporate ruling class. How Mussolini talked about how fascism was corporatism, and we're already there. And we know about, because Edward Snowden, about the mass surveillance, and what is really to identify the enemy in terms of fascism is clear cut to me, and in a way it's a global corporatism, where corporations have already taken over the world, and it's going to get worse and worse as time goes by. We always hear about the coming economic meltdown, the coming collapse, and this could happen. So we need to be aware of that. After all these centuries, humankind cannot even come together and create a common economic system to govern themselves. Thus we are an endangered species. Yet we just can't blame the corporate ruling class. We have to also put the bulk of the blame on the people. The people that allow this evilness to go on. The people who are locked in apathy. The people who are frozen in fear and do not resist what's going on. And I think as cosmic citizen and a citizen of the United States, that we need to take our citizenship seriously. And if there's ever going to be any kind of a democracy, it needs to be a democracy where there's mass participation, where we all get involved in making it work, or else it won't work. So in that context, we get the government we deserve. We get the president we deserve. So we need to look at the big picture and not forget that. Of course, there's other issues people are concerned about, like the bees, B-E-E-S, B-E-E-S, and there's other issues that we're concerned about yet. I tried to look at the big picture, the long-term picture, where we're at here now, meeting our basic needs, NEEDS, food, clothing, shelter, medical care, and quality education, of course water, air, etc. Our need for love, for affection, for tenderness. So we need to communicate, express ourselves, and for me, sharing is caring, and consciousness is the unified field. If we can't even agree on a common economic system, the closest that we've been able to arrive at, in theory, it's just a theory, is democracy. Representative, participatory democracy. Socialism has not worked. I think a lot of it is because it couldn't work when you have such a great competing economic system like capitalism controlling the markets. It's becoming more and more computerized. Thus fell the former Soviet Union. You see the troubles in Venezuela. Cuba was kind of a model, yet it too became repressive. And I think in his later years, Fidel Castro was becoming more of a believer in the Creator, or a believer in God. So there's something to learn from that. I believe in a Creator, the source. And I think that the Creator is not necessarily a male God. Could be a female goddess, we say Mother Earth. So we need to keep open-minded, take care of ourselves, maintain the brain, and work together. And ride this wave as long as we can. Yes, we are an endangered species. And if you follow Guy McPherson, there's a lot to learn, and we need to be aware of the real dangers that we face in the environment. with the North and the South Pole, the methane gas. So it's a lot more deeper than just bashing Trump. But we need to understand the American psyche, where white racism causes a great division among the people. Knowing that race is a social invention, knowing that we're really one human race, that we need to get rid of our racism. But it's not just a white racism, it's black racism, brown racism, racism in many forms. Like say, the term mayate. This is a term that many brown people use in reference to black people. They'll say, oh, él es un mayate. Meaning like he's a black guy. Now, mayate is a black beetle that gets into cotton. And say cotton in Texas. So, see, racism is just kind of built into our whole culture. It's embedded into the whole psyche. And even though it's a social invention that man created, even though we all have the same basic DNA structure, it's deep into the mind and the spirit of many people. So we need to combat racism in any form and be aware of it and know that it's like a plague. It's like a psychosocial disease. A psychosocial disease. When we look at the history of lynching in the USA, look at the history of after the Civil War, the rise of the local police, hunting down slaves. So we need to study history because it'll help you to understand better the present, where we're at now. And know that many minds have been already severely damaged by racism and other forms of what I call negativism, sexism. Looking at a woman like as a piece of ass, instead of as a beautiful creature. Materialism, where you become obsessed with the acquisition of material objects. If that's the goal of life, who dies with the biggest toys? We see the great division of classism. The two main classes, there's different categories, are the haves and the have-nots. Now, the haves are actually minus 0.1% of the population, if not less than that. The have-nots are 99+% of the population. So how does such a small, minute portion of the population control the billions of others? Through governments, through armies, through decades of psychological propaganda, reactionary fascist propaganda. Propaganda can have a positive or a negative to it, like many things in the world. Propaganda is the dissemination or the indoctrination of many ideas, where agitation is the spreading of a few key ideas. And one of those that Trump uses is the America First concept, where we put America on the pedestal because America's first. And we neglect the suffering of other countries, of other people, forgetting that it's the raping, the veins of Latin America, Africa, Asia, that feed that capitalist machine. To know that our resources here on Earth are limited. I think oil is there, helps to cushion the tectonic plates so we don't have great earthquakes. We're destroying the Earth. And we're not going to be able to prevent some stuff if we don't wake up to it now and see that preserving the Earth and its natural resources is key for us to survive as an endangered species. And we forget that. We get so caught up in politics, and we always got to be right, and so-and-so has the super secret theory or idea that's going to save us all, and we forget, what we have in common. We need to look at what we have in common as one species, and not just look at it as one nation or one race of people. That's why I don't really go into brown lives matter. Though they do. All lives matter. Where we can't solve the global situation, thinking globally, unless we think on at least a global level, if not a cosmic level. So we need to be aware of that and not get hung up on only a racial approach to the general situation, or even a tribal approach. And so we have the United Nations, where each nation has their little flag, though it's controlled by the United States. Where it's a farce, it's phony. We have the United States that is not united. Nowadays, the United States is more of a divided state than anything. Along class lines or along racial lines. And so, in a way, a devil is a divider. Trump is dividing the people more and more. Maybe to somebody he's like the white savior. He's going to fix it all. And so we need to continue to educate the people, remembering that if we know everything, we can learn nothing. teach the basic literacy to the people. Teach people how to read and write. That's why, I love the internet, because now we can reach people through videos, where we learn by hearing, we learn by listening. And listening well. Not just to what is being said, but how it's being said. How many times does a child go to a parent and say, "Oh, Mommy, Daddy, I made this in my art school," or something. And the mommy goes, "Well, did you clean your room up?" Or the dad goes, "Did you do your homework?" And we don't listen. How many times does a wife confide in her husband something that's troubling her, and he's too busy, watching TV, with a can of beer in his hand. He doesn't really listen to her. We see how it seems like about half the marriages seem to end in divorce or separation, or they stay together for the house. They stay together for the kids. I had an uncle and aunt like that. And I'm not going to drop names, just, he had his own business and stuff. And my aunt, she did okay, yet they stayed together for the kids. And when the kids grew up, they flew away. The two of them there were unhappy with this big old house. It's a beautiful house. So, if you fall in love, and if you decide to get married, and if you decide to have a child, start thinking long term. Marriage is a legal contract. I'm still technically married to a lady I got married several years ago at Mesa Community Campus. Done my idea. And it's another story. So, I consider myself single now. And if I meet a beautiful woman and decide I want to marry her, I can't, because I'm still technically married. I don't want to commit bigamy. Unless we just go tribal to some village in Mexico or something. Life happens. So, I'm not even sure where I'm going with this video. Just that, gotta see how one decision often leads to another. We need to be aware of what's happening in the cosmos, be aware of what's happening on the planet, and be aware of what's happening in their own local situation. And a lot of it has to do with relationships. Our relationship with the Creator, our relationship with Mother Earth, our relationship with others, and our relationship with ourselves as a trinity, the mind, body, and soul. So, that's about that for now. Still dealing with my addictions like tobacco, Diet Pepsi. But know, I used to be a still hardcore drunk. Well, I'm 14 years sober, Lord willing, June 24th. So I believe that all things are connected. That's why I can talk about one thing and talk about other things way out in the left field. It's all connected. And I believe that, to me, the more I share and open up without worrying about being politically correct, the better my spirit feels, the more in touch I feel with my subconscious, my own psyche. The more I can shine the light of truth on my own shadows, when I admit my character defects, like sloth. I think sometimes I sleep too much. Sleep can be kind of an escape. And I don't really have gluttony, because if anything, I'm thin. Though I need to work out more. So that could be a form of sloth too. So just let's all try to love one another, respect one another, know that no one has all the answers. Many times we don't even have the right questions. Many times people don't even question stuff. They just follow orders like a good Nazi. So be aware of what's going on and be a functional citizen. Watch the children. Watch your elders. Make sure grandma's okay. Make sure grandpa's okay. Make surprise visits on family. Remember in younger days where the weekends were cool because we would like, Mom would get ready, get us ready. We'd hop in the car, we'd go see one of my uncles or one of my aunts. And, you know, us kids would play together. It was cool. It was cool. And see, we had like a band, a family band. You know, my dad played guitar, my mom sang, my Uncle Henry played drums and timbales, my Uncle Ralph Perez played saxophone. And we had a family friend played bass, so they had a band together. They played at local nightclubs. It was cool. And they would get all dressed and go out, you know, do their gig. So I had a good childhood. And growing up was pretty good. I was safe and secure. I felt loved. And I think that's a good foundation for a child to have. So that's my babble for now. You're still paying attention because you have undiagnosed ADHD or ADD. So love yourself, love the family, and love the people. remember, earth first. Parts of truth, not a must.